What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 7 preview video. Now that Episode 4 is over, I want to take a quick peek at the upcoming episode. And I think this next episode is going to be a bit of a game changer for this season. There probably won't be any major battles or anything like that, but all the chess pieces on the board are about to shift as we build up to the finale of this season. And I will be talking about some minor spoilers in this video, so make sure you proceed with caution if you do not want to be spoiled on anything. We have seen many exciting things this season so far, but there is one major event that has yet to take place. Episode 5 is going to set everything in motion for the final epic battle in this season, and we got a glimpse of that in the Season 7 trailers a few months ago. Jon Snow will be leading a group of men beyond the wall where they will eventually encounter the army of the dead, and this is going to eventually turn into a monumental Royal Rumble beyond the wall. Jon Snow has spent 2 whole episodes on Dragonstone, but in Episode 5 he will begin to form his Suicide Squad that he takes with him up north. But before Jon leaves Dragonstone, something is going to happen that most of us have been dying to see for a very long time. Jon Snow will have his first face-to-face interaction with Daenerys Targaryen's dragon, and I'm not just talking about a flyover, it's going to be much more than that. This was also teased in the trailer months ago as well. When Daenerys Targaryen arrives back on Dragonstone after her intense battle with the Lannisters, she's going to land on the beach with Drogon, and they're going to come up to where Jon Snow is standing. If you look at this scene from the trailer, you can see a close-up of Drogon with Daenerys on his back. And if you look behind them, you can see the castle on Dragonstone. Daenerys is going to approach Jon with her dragon, but Jon isn't going to be as scared as Daenerys would expect. In fact, we should see a little bit of a bond between Jon and Drogon, and this will probably confuse Daenerys and possibly even make her a little bit jealous. But the most important thing is this will further confirm that Jon Snow doesn't just have Stark blood in his veins, but he also has Targaryen blood in his veins as well, the blood of the dragon. And this will probably cause the internet to break. Everyone is going to be wondering, will Jon Snow, aka Jon Stark, aka Jon Targaryen, ever ride a dragon himself? Well, we could end up seeing something like that in Season 8. If the Night King does kill one of Dany's dragons and mounts it for himself, we could potentially see an epic battle of the dragons in the sky, with the Night King on one dragon and Jon and Daenerys on their own dragons, and that would be crazy as hell if that happened. But before I go too far down that road, I'm going to wait and talk about that later, when and if the Night King actually gets the damn thing first. But in Episode 5, there are going to be a bunch of other cool moments too that I want to talk about. There is another thing that everyone has been wondering for years, and that is where the fuck has Gendry been? We haven't seen Gendry since Season 3 when Davos set him free from the cells on Dragonstone. For all we know, he has been rowing that damn boat this entire time. Is it possible that Gendry became the Westeros version of Tom Hanks in Castaway? Has he been hiding in one of these caves on Dragonstone this entire time? I hope he hasn't started calling his bullhead helmet Wilson. I'm just kidding though, but Episode 5 will be the episode Gendry makes his return. It looks like Gendry was in the trailer with the other 12 companions beyond the wall. Most people have speculated this is Gendry standing in a circle of men holding a warhammer. Some people have even said this is Robert Baratheon's warhammer that he has, but I actually disagree. I think if Gendry does have a warhammer, I think he made it himself, now that he knows he is Robert Baratheon's bastard son thanks to Melisandre. Gendry has probably been in King's Landing this entire time, most likely under an anonymous name. Being a blacksmith is one of the only things he is really good at, so that's most likely what he went back to doing in order to feed himself. Davos told him as long as the Gold Cloaks don't know what he looks like, then he really has nothing to worry about, because they've been looking for Davos for years. So if Gendry started using a different name, he could probably move around King's Landing freely. Jon will be leaving Dragonstone in Episode 5 to head towards Eastwatch by the Sea, right where he told Tormund to go. So Gendry has to show up in the next episode to go up north with Jon and Davos, because Jon will be taking Gendry along with him. And speaking of Eastwatch by the Sea, you know who else we haven't seen in a long time? We haven't seen the Hound and the Brotherhood Without Banner since the very first episode of this season. These men will also be accompanying Jon Snow beyond the wall, which we also saw in the trailers too. Jon is going to have one hell of a crew with him when he runs into the army of the dead. Since the Hound saw the vision in the flames back in the first episode, they should be at Eastwatch by the Sea already, right where the wall meets the ice. Jon Snow will be heading there to meet up with Tormund and the Brotherhood to go out beyond the wall in search of the army of the dead. Like I said earlier in this video, there will be a lot of characters moving around in this episode, and with that being said, there is another character on the move right now. I thought he might actually show up in episode 4, but since he didn't, then I know he's going to show up in episode 5, and that is Sir Jorah Mormont. He is now a free man that no longer has grayscale, so he's going to be hauling ass to get back to his Khaleesi. I imagine he's going to arrive while Daenerys is there, and they should have a very warm reunion together. Daenerys was in tears when Jorah broke the news to her that he had this deadly disease, but she demanded that he go get himself cured, then come back to her so he could be by her side while she takes over Westeros. And I am looking forward to Jon and Jorah Mormont finally meeting as well, especially since Jon is carrying House Mormont's former Valyrian steel sword. The bear is no longer on the sword, but Jorah should still recognize it, and I'm expecting Jon to tell Jorah how close of a relationship he had with his father, and how loyal Lyanna Mormont has been for House Stark. I think Jon can help repair Jorah's reputation with his own family. If Jorah does go beyond the wall with Jon and help him on this dangerous mission, that should be enough for Lyanna to potentially accept him back into the family. I have always said Jon will end up offering Longclaw back to the Mormonts, but it's hard to say if either one of them would ever accept it. Once Samwell Tarly gets back up north with Heartsbane, there will be a Valyrian steel sword up for grabs for someone else to use, but that's assuming Sam doesn't use it himself. The last time we saw Sam, he was with Jorah Mormont during his last checkup when they learned he was completely cured of grayscale. Sam could be another thing that helps form that bond between Jon and Jorah Mormont. The next time we see Sam and Gilly, we could possibly learn about another explosive discovery that they have made. After Jorah was discharged from the Citadel, Sam was given the task of making copies of all the old manuscripts and documents that were lying around and rotting away. I think there will be something in those old documents that will change everything, and compel Sam and Gilly to leave the Citadel and take their asses back north before the long night actually starts to set in. There is really only a few things I think Sam and Gilly can potentially discover that is a game changer right now, or at least a few things that actually make sense to the direction that the story is going in. They may learn some more about the Long Night and how to defeat the White Walkers. They could even learn something about making Valyrian steel, or even something that further proves the legitimacy of Jon Snow's Targaryen roots, proving that he has the blood of the dragon as well. It's going to be something big that motivates Sam enough to leave the Citadel and go and reunite with Jon again, because I do not think Sam is going to stay at the Citadel for as long as it takes to become a maester. By the end of this season, the band of brothers will start to unite to form this super group of characters that are going to take on the army of the dead together, whether that be on the battlefield or done behind the scenes with their minds. Either way, all of the best and smartest characters that we are familiar with will all start to come together with only a few episodes left before all hell breaks loose. As we wind down to the end of the season, things should start to begin to get more and more interesting and exciting, while everyone prepares for the storm that the Night King is about to bring, and I cannot wait to see the death and destruction that's about to take place. Episode 5 might not be action-packed, but I still think it should be a very solid episode. Daenerys is going to return after a deadly battle with the Lannisters, and when she touches down on Dragonstone, we will see Jon Snow and Drogon interact with each other. The bond between Jon and the dragons will have officially begun. And hit that like button if you are a R+L=J believer, because I know I am. Also, we may or may not touch base with the Hound and the Brotherhood again as they arrive at Eastwatch by the Sea to prepare to follow the vision that the Hound saw in the flames. Gendry will make his return, and Jorah Mormont will make his return as well. Sam and Gilly may discover something incredible in those old-ass dusty documents the Archmaester asked Sam to make copies of. Personally, I am really looking forward to this episode. Seeing all these characters uniting to go beyond the wall to fight the common enemy is going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoy watching all these characters individually, but seeing them all together in the same scene is just spoiling me. So thank you so much, Game of Thrones, and thank you so much, HBO. I have been so anxious to see this battle beyond the wall with all these amazing characters coming together, and this is only going to be a taste of what's to come, because once the dead march past the wall, then we're going to need every single character to come together if they ever want to stop them. Whether you believe in this shit or not, you must help or you will die. Comment down below and let me know what are some of the things you are looking forward to the most in the upcoming episode, The Blood of the Dragon. There is going to be so much moving around in this one, I am really just looking forward to seeing some characters share some scenes together that I've never met before. That should be interesting to see how they form relationships with one another, but let me know what you want to see the most. I want to thank everyone for stopping by to check out this quick preview of Episode 5. I will be uploading my full breakdown of Episode 4 tomorrow. Then I will upload my breakdown of the preview trailer for Episode 5 on Tuesday. I hope you all come back to check those out as well. And I want to give a shout out to Alex too, who was nice enough to make me some banner art for my Twitter account. I really appreciate you doing that, Alex. And I want to thank all my Patreon supporters too. The support I have been receiving from everyone watching and listening to this video right now has been absolutely incredible. I never could have imagined I would ever come close to having 100,000 subscribers. Just saying that number and looking at that number on the screen blows my mind. And I never could have achieved that without all of you wonderful people coming back day after day to discuss this story and show that we all love so much. Thank you everyone. I will see you down in the comments section. Bye.